Phone's ringing, right? And they're trying to call this guy in the black house, right? The guy in the black house apparently knew the phone was ringing, right? It was obvious for the most part. He had to know it was ringing. And he wasn't picking up the phone, right? And every time he picked up the phone, they hung up the phone. And then when he, I guess, tried to call back, for the most part, there was a lot of heavy breathing on the phone and nobody was saying nothing, right? So the phone ringing, right? So he thinking to himself, something just not adding up around here. It's about time he looked out the window. He realized what was out there. And what was out there was the little green people. And the little green people were basically like, yeah. So he went back in the black house, right? Phone kept ringing for the most part. And they started trying to move in on him for the most part, right? I think this is called the diversion of a distraction. So he released it, weapons of mass distraction, to compensate with the agility of the assist of a rebound. I guess in basketball terms, that would mean he ain't about to, give up on his defense for the most part. So he was breaking a lot of ankles, if you know what I mean. And what we found out was the computer nerds wanted to go to war with him. And that firewall was not about to break under any circumstances. Phone kept ringing. Going to war for the most part. So he just hung up the phone. And they were just trying to, I guess, get into the firewall for the most part. I guess they want a password or something. They want intel. They want personal files. I mean, the guy got an imagination for the most part. But like the narrator said, I don't know why they're trying to destroy his firewall. And they were consistently trying, day in and day out. Try reasoning with them. Try talking with them. I guess he thought they came to a understanding for the most part. They offered a tribute, And when that didn't go through, it was one of those, I think he caught on to it for the most part. So I guess he feels outnumbered in the city. Everyday people, sure. But his job description and his career path, it was a whole different subject that had nothing really to do with much. So, try to work it out with them. They're trying to tear down his firewall. RPG! And, that's just where we're at with it for the most part. So, I don't know what they're trying to do, but they can't get past the front gate. Because the front gate is impenetrable. So the Black House had to open his weapon, what's that thing called? Weapon defense system. And he basically locked them out. So they're trying to, get in for the most part. And it's not working. They're consistent. I'll give them that. They are consistent. I'll give them that much. But it's just not, it's not going how they think it's going to go. They don't try to call the guy. They don't try to just meet in the middle, talk it out. They don't even try to offer a tribute. Usually if aliens, come down from the heavens, they will try to, we come in peace and all that. But they try nothing. This must be a new form of education. I like the old people better because before war happens, they will try to reason with you, talk with you for the most part. Get to an understanding of, this and that. But then this thing, that's right, Skynet, happened. So since Skynet happened, the people in the 70s, the 80s, the early 60s, maybe close to the 50s if you want to count them too, they just realized that they never really had artificial intelligence for the most part. 2000, I want to say 2007, artificial intelligence touched the market. Now here we are in 2025, and you got the whole entire National Guard, you got Air Force, FBI, CIA, you got SWAT, you got Delta Team Force, secret teams, double agents, double not agents, trying to infiltrate and get inside the compound of the Black House. So I asked the guy, right? I said, they can't get in here, right? No, there's nothing they have that's going to be able to penetrate the Black House. There's nothing. So if they bought like a tank, would that work? I'll just stand in front of the tank and won't even budge. I'll just climb on top of the tank and just walk across it on the other side. What if they bring like a helicopter? They can't even aim for the most part. You watch a lot of sci-fi movies. Okay, so what if they bring like a whole, like 500 men? Then it's just going to be, what's 500 minus 499? God damn, I love this thinking. So I asked him, I don't mean to be all in your business, you know, for the most part, but what is it that you have, you know, that they need? Well, if you really must know, I hold the secrets to nothing. I have the power to take care of myself. I have the design concept of the architect of putting a doghouse together without reading the instructions. I have the mass component tool set of, let me go ask somebody. You know, I never use a copier machine for the most part on my own, naturally. God damn it. I couldn't believe it. This guy was a goddamn war hero. His own country, well, my country too, was trying to get in the Black House, and based off the answers that he was given, didn't matter what kind of rifle they had, don't matter what kind of handguns they got, you know, smoke bombs, bulletproof vests, they could bring that goddamn A-52 giant airplane with the funny face on it for the most part. It made no goddamn difference. They was not about to get in at all. It wasn't happening. It was really trying to get into the Black House. So I said, is there like is there a certain room or a level, or is there something like in plain sight that nobody can see for the most part? Well, to really think about it, you can stand in front of that window right there. It's bulletproof. You can't get into it. It's just going to ricochet. What kind of format of structure this building is made out of? Well, I mean, I would tell you, but that's classified information. But just know, nothing can get inside the Black House without my permission. It's just that simple. I couldn't believe it. This man's a goddamn genius. Goddamn war hero. So what do you do when they do this? I just go to sleep. You go to sleep. So you just go to sleep. Basically, go to sleep. I don't know what they're trying to get. I don't know what they're searching for exactly. I try to communicate with them for the most part. They offered a tribute, you know, to me. Very beautiful woman for the most part. And I thought she was going to tag along, you know, for the most part. I thought it was going to be some conversation of an interest. Come to find out that was a lie. You know, I was kind of disappointed for the most part. You know, it's not often you get to meet, you know, new people and, you know, keep your friends. I lost a lot of friends in this business. Yep, me too. What about your family? They're overseas, haven't seen them in a while. Hopefully everybody's okay. What about, I don't know. You know, like, you got a wife or girlfriend or something? Nope, just me, myself, and I. It's the saddest poetry that I ever heard in my life. I wanted to shed a tear for the guy. So I said, what do you do when you get hungry? I don't eat. I'm on that Dracula thing for the most part. So they're trying to get into the Black House. There's no sense in trying to talk to these people. Why they do what they do? I don't know. I mean, every angle, every direction. It's like a cheat code that makes the building impenetrable, to break. So I went downstairs for the most part in the Black House. Looked around at everything. People banging on the glass. Just going insane. Like the apocalypse. You ever seen Resident Evil? Ooh, RPG. Yeah, it was similar to that. Everybody was affected by the virus because people were too good, to talk to me for the most part. So it was just full mayhem out there. That's the study from the DynaTAC that I got, just based off my own theory of the chalkboard of a scientific notation as following square root for pi. Come to find out, most of these effects were psychological. And the other effects of these things were what I like to call unusual behavior for the most part. Like I said, I really don't know what it is that they're looking for or what they thought was going to happen. But then something told me, right? Something told me the answer, to this whole scenario. And I know what it is. I know exactly what it is. And once I saw it, and then I looked at it from that perspective, that way, I said, well, I really don't know. You know what I'm saying? I really don't know how to look at this. So when people are not communicating with you or talking with you, everything's good for the most part. I mean, the Black House, we good in the Black House. It's the outside world for the most part. I don't know what they're doing. I ain't got a clue. Legend has it that they're running some kind of investigation of trying to figure out something. And from what I'm told, these words of government words tend to make people uncomfortable for the most part. Why? I don't know. I guess they had history back in the good old days or something, as they used to call it. And they're trying to work out some things. So they waited to 2025 to come to a revolution of a new world order. I don't see why they didn't. I mean, there's so much of it. I read a lot of history books for the most part. And I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't there at that time zone. And from my understanding, I think as long as you know who you are as an individual, don't really get into all that, with people. Yeah, I don't know. So like I said, I went downstairs, checked the facility, make sure everything was good for the most part. And I saw one of the, outsiders. That's why I call them the outsiders. Very beautiful woman for the most part. And like I told her, I was like, I would let you in, but just like the rest of them, you're not loyal. So I just closed the blinds and just went back to whatever's left of, civilization. So I said, about time they discover me, I'm going to have a whole entire, concept of the new world, new knowledge, new teaching, different studies and stuff. Because the world's coming to an end. Then come to find out that the world actually didn't come to an end. It was all around the world. People's lives were all around the world, going mad. Some lady she got like $12 million from COVID. While the rest of us, we can't keep our everyday jobs because if we don't get a COVID shot, you don't get to keep your job. Or you just got to put on a mask, and that's just what it has to be for the most part. Which is technically you can breathe through the mask, which is airborne. Nobody thought to ask or call a scientist or ask somebody in a local neighborhood, what does this mean, or do the math or anything. Everybody kind of has the same knowledge or the same education, for the most part. Some people might be a little bit smarter than other people, and some people might, just be, high school diploma, graduate. There's a couple AAs out there and some bachelor's degree. Haven't met a person with a master's or a science degree in this matter. So it's just, whatever the news say for the most part. Went back upstairs, back to the Oval Office, sat back in the big chair. And I said, they still trying to get inside, the office. And it was just war out there. I mean, just full out war. And then I thought to myself, I said, wait a minute, let me check on something, right? So I grabbed the phone. I said, let me make a phone call. Call somebody real fast, right? I'm gonna call somebody. And it was just full out Armageddon, just war. I wasn't getting a hold of nobody. Phone ringing. Talking about line is busy. Send a text message, no respond back. Send an email, no respond back. I was just like, so this is what we doing, huh? So this how it's gonna be? I know people's time is valuable, during this really, tough time. But the reality of it was tough. So I just sat there and watched cartoons all day, waiting for civilization to make sense again. I remember nice people, normal people, regular people. I was thinking about moving out the country for the most part, and I know how serious they take their jobs, and I know what they was going to do. They were going to use everything that I created against me. So the world turned against me. And since the world turned against me, guess where I went? To the dark side of the moon.